Okay, we are starting right now. It is 8 p.m. on Thursday. Hello, everyone. We are live. Hello, Tarot Tribe. It's great to be back. I had a wonderful week off last week and a wonderful birth anniversary. In case you don't know, and most of you do, Candy and I, my wonderful wife, Candy Hearts Art, and also our moderator tonight, we share the same birthday. We are born on the exact same day. We are the same age. And so we got married on our birthday, and that would be June 8th, this past Monday. So we had a wonderful week. I took some extra time off from work, celebrated a bunch. It was great. But that being said, I missed all of you. So it's wonderful to be back. And many of you sent birth anniversary wishes. So thank you for all of that as well. I hope you've all been well. Just to brag, a little show and tell, some birth anniversary gifts. A butter squishy. I love it. And I'm just going to tease this today, but we're going to do an unboxing of this next week. I got myself the Bee Tarot by Christopher Hughes. Really wonderful tarot deck with bee-inspired imagery and art. And we will actually do an unboxing of this on our next live next Thursday. I'll keep you up to date on that. But, so I hope that's a good reason for everyone to show up. So it looks like we have a lot of returning people here. Thank you again for joining us after a week off. I hope you're well. And if you're new here and you don't know how this works, first we begin the evening with a group tarot reading. I pull some messages for us, the collective, the tribe, for the week for some guidance. And then I will move on to your individual mini tarot requests. And I will pull a few cards for each of you to answer your questions. So if you're interested in getting a mini tarot reading, just write in the chat exclamation reading and your question or topic if you have one. If you don't have a topic or question, totally okay. Just let us know. And my wonderful moderator and wife, Candy Heartsart, will add you to the queue, which you will see start to fill up on the screen as we get it up to date. And we usually go for about 2 hours, so please get your requests in early, because as we get towards the second half of the evening, we tend to fill up, and I will at some point have to sort of shut the list down, and I won't be able to take any new requests because there's just limits to what I can do in any given evening. So we've already got 2 requests in the queue. Yagmer the first is the first today. So you will be up first when we get to the group readings. And Britt, you are second up. So we got you in there as well. And I saw Paya or Pay Altamar or Paya Altomar. Not sure exactly how I'm saying your name, but if you would like a reading, just leave a request and we will get you into the queue as well. Pyle, okay. Thank you for that. Okay, Pyle. So again, don't be shy about requesting a reading if you want one. And if you wait too long, you might not get one. So don't hesitate. Okay. And we will keep that updating as we go along. We will get right to our group reading then for the evening. So we will shuffle up. Let's get the card cam on. I always do that. I go to pull the group cards and I don't even have like the cam so that you can see the cards, the beautiful cards. It's the whole point of this. And before we even start, we will clear the air a bit, get a quick smudge in. And again, I hope you've all been well. Let me know in the chat how you've been doing. I did miss all of you. It was nice to take a little time off. Not necessarily from all of you, but from my 9-to-5 job at the Hobby Lobby. It's definitely nice to get a break from that for a few extra days because it gets crazy. So a little blessing here. I got a little bit of this wonderful, it's a frankincense incense. One of my favorite smells, favorite scents, the holiest of the holy. Candy and I were both raised Catholic. And while we don't really subscribe to Catholicism anymore, we grew up with inhaling a lot of frankincense and myrrh in Sunday church. So okay. Now we're nice and fumigated here. Alrighty, let's get a good shuffle and let's see what guidance Spirit has for us for the week. It's been 2 weeks since I last did this, so I don't remember exactly what our group reading was 2 weeks ago. But nonetheless, if you are curious about these past lives, they are all up on my channel on YouTube, so you can go and watch them if you want to check out some past readings, as well as a bunch of long form content that I do about personal development and using tarot as a tool of personal transformation, which is my thing. So you're welcome to check all that out on the channel as well when you have time. Or if you just miss your reading tonight for some reason, you step away, this will be available as a replay afterwards. So you can go back and catch it or review your reading. It's very handy sometimes. Okay, group pull for the week. Well, that looks like a card. That looks interesting. That's going to be one of our cards tonight. Okay. Welcome in, Ruby. You absolutely can get a reading tonight. Our moderator, Candy Hearts Art, will add you to the queue. You come in plenty early, so we'll get you in there. Right now, I'm doing sort of our group collective reading, and then after that, I will get to everyone in the order on the screen. So we will be happy to read for you this evening, and welcome in. And I will also remind everyone here, most of you are returning viewers, but if you're new and you'd like to support us, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and click the bell icon so that you are always notified when new videos come out. My goal for this channel is to get to 500 subs and 3,000 watch hours by the end of September. And with your help, I really think we can get there. So thank you for all of your support. And so here we have our cards for the week for us as a group. Some very big, major cards here. So first we have the Tower. So if you've been in enough of these readings, or you read tarot yourself, you'll know the Tower is a card of the breaking down of the old order. So the old establishment, the old institutions, the old ways of doing things, both our own personal ones and in the world around us, the world external to us. These things no longer serve a purpose to us. We have outgrown them. We are evolving. The world is evolving. Humanity is evolving. And so the institutions that we previously created to create stability and prosperity in our lives are now no longer effective. And they must be broken down so that we can create and make way for the new order, which we are all out here creating. And so with that comes quite a bit of chaos, some uncertainty as well. It's not always a fun time. And if we look more closely at this card, we do see like this huge tower and this big bolt of lightning strike it, and people flying out of it and flames everywhere. It's just chaos and ruin and destruction. And so that's a lot of the energy going into this week, especially if you have been or start feeling some chaos, feeling some of that tension. Don't panic. This is essential for the new thing to give way. And you are a part of that. So it is your role in this, beyond just not panicking about it or giving into the uncomfortable feelings. Your role is to be the creator of this new order. And this new order that we're creating, that is emerging on this world, is one where human beings are much more in tune with their connection to spirit or God or the universe, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care. But the greater whole, the thing from which we are all created and we are all part of, that we are not really consciously aware of typically. And by virtue of the fact that you're here, interested in getting a tarot reading, you are already on the cusp of that. You are someone who is more aware, more spiritually aware, and understand that there's a connection from that to the real world. And so the Hierophant is kind of like the Pope or a priest. And it's significant of us now. So it is incumbent on us to create the new order out of the remains of what has been and what is breaking down and where that space is being created. It is on us to create the new, better, and higher evolved order in the world. And that order is one that is more in touch with our emotional selves, our spiritual selves, and also more in tune with each other. And so that's the Hierophant. The Hierophant is creating these things, but the Hierophant is guided by spirit. There's a spiritual purpose to how the Hierophant sets order to the world. And that's a very exciting thing. And so this is going to start picking up. And this is the Knight of Wands. This very fiery energy, powerful motion forward, a bit also chaotic at times, but chaotic in a better way, in a good way. Very exciting. And so this is a lot of what's going to enter our lives. A lot of this energy, this drive, as this tower energy clears out and we see that space opening up, expect to be very pulled forward. You're going to have a lot of just drive and passion. Expect to have a few nights where you wake up with just inspiration, even if you haven't slept the best. some inspiration to create or write or draw or do something, and try to go with that. Try to follow it and give that space because you really are creating this new order in the world. We are all part of this. And so that's a really like fiery and inspiring reading and message for all of us from Spirit this week. So I hope that serves you all well as you go forward. Bear with me one moment. I just have to keep an eye on a few things going on around here. Just making sure. Okay. So we will move on to all of our individual readings for all of you lovelies. Okay, third up we have Ruby, so we'll add you as well. Ruby, we got you in here. There we go. You're welcome, Panya. It's great to have you back in here tonight. And Panya, I hope your tarot reading adventure has been going well. Thank you for joining us. So in case anyone doesn't know, I do teach people to read tarot. I can teach any one of you to read tarot in just a few hours and without a lot of memorization or like intense study. But like a very simple, intuitive method, you can start reading confidently for yourself and others, which I believe is more powerful than even receiving a reading itself. So much of my own transformation in life has been guided by reading tarot cards for myself. And so there's plenty of information about the next class coming up. It's live via Zoom, and you can learn more about that if you're interested. It is there's a link to it in the comments of this video. And you may see the chat bot also push that link out here and there. So if anyone is interested in possibly learning tarot, please let me know, or even drop a comment in the chat, and we'll make sure that you have all that information. Because it's a lot of fun. Panya is one of my great students, as well as my wife Candy also took the class with us a little over a week ago, and it was a lot of fun and really, really great. So, but enough shameless promotion. So Yagmer, you're up first, and which is very appropriate for your name, Yagmer the First. Yagmer, your question is Jack's current feelings towards me. Is it a romantic question? Okay. So let's see what Jack is feeling about you currently. Oh, Panya, you got an ancient Italian deck. That's pretty cool. I would love to see that. So when you have a moment, or if you do a daily reading, please grab a picture of that and put it in the WhatsApp group. I would love to see those cards. I am of partial Italian heritage, and I took a lot of ancient Latin, so I love ancient Rome and all that stuff. So yeah. Okay, Yagmer, what's going on with Jack? What is Jack feeling about you? Is it romantic? Well, it's definitely, the question is of a romantic nature, no doubt. But let's see. Well, 5 of Cups. The Lovers. Well, how appropriate. And 10 of Coins. All very interesting here. So let's see. What does Spirit tell us about Jack and his feelings for you? So, I get the sense that Jack is not the most expressive about his feelings in general, not just towards you, but anytime that you've interacted with Jack, he's just not super upfront about his feelings. Not an uncommon thing in a lot of people, and especially in us men. But I sense that Jack has had, yeah, and that's right. There was a bit of mystery around Jack, and so this underscores some of that because we did hit on this a few weeks ago. But Jack is still sort of struggling with some of this past. He has some past misgivings, some past maybe hurt feelings about some other relationship. Again, from his past, and he's carrying this around. And I don't think he is fully even aware of it. And so this is creeping in into how he's acting around you. This past relationship might not have even been a romantic one. This could go back to like childhood. This could have to do with the way his parents or another adult in his life treated him growing up as a young child. But there is some unhappiness or, again, like discontent with something that had happened then. And so this is where the core of his inability to be sort of emotionally available or be really upfront with you about his feelings are. Yeah, that 5 of Cups, absolutely. And no, it's not you making him cry. Now the Lover shows that there is definitely an attraction and a connection between the two of you. And I think he does sense it, but he is still just so cloistered and just so unable to really express even like the tiniest bit of like, hey, I would like to spend time with you or get to know you or just have a chat with you. And so this is where all of this conflicted sort of thing is going on. And yet I do see some sort of relationship building between you. It's really hard to say how long. This might take a long time to develop because he's going to have to get over some of this stuff, at least to some extent, to be able to open up with you enough that you can really start to, again, spend time together and interact and do so. And then there is this like riches, this abundance of community and sort of riches and wealth around you. And so this also speaks to the idea that there's a lot of potential in this relationship. But again, it's going to take quite a bit of time to develop. So this is going to be a long-term thing. It's going to move very slowly. I do sense that there'll be a little bit of a break further through sometime in the next maybe month or so. So you might actually have a bit of a conversation. Things might begin to move forward a little bit. But it is going to take quite a bit of time. The Pentacles are the suit of Earth, or the element of Earth. And so Earth is kind of a slower moving thing. It is, that physical manifestation compared to the other elements like air or fire, very fast moving. So this will develop over time. There will be, again, a relationship there, but it's going to take a lot of time. And it's not something you can force. There's nothing you can do to make it move faster. All you can do is just be open and receptive and just be there when it seems like he is ready to communicate with you. So just be ready for that. Okay. And thank you for your question tonight, Yagmer. He is the artist is back in. Good to see you. He is the artist, and I got your name correct for once, so that's always nice. Don't hesitate to get a question in on the queue while we still have plenty of space and time. And we will move on to Britt and your question. Let's see. Britt's question. Asking for a friend, Ashley, who is with me now. Okay. She would like some insight around her current health. She's experiencing some issues and needs some insight, and thank you so much. Alrighty. Well, always happy to ask for a friend. Okay, so this is really for Ashley. Let's see. And before I pull your cards, Ashley, just to give the standard disclaimer, just so I don't get in any trouble, just want you to be aware that this tarot reading is in no way any sort of professional advice, such as medical, health, legal, or financial advice. So just make sure that you're aware of that. Certainly do with it what you wish. But always consult a medical professional if you're having any kind of medical issues. Okay, disclaimers out of the way. Let's see. Well, those seem like some cards for you, Ashley. We got 2. Hmm. A lot of generally good things here in the cards. So Four of Cups is sort of like this emotional distraction. Um, there's a bit of a fixation on certain things, and it's distracting you from seeing maybe some of the other good in your life. And so that makes a lot of sense if you're having some health issues right now and they're concerning you. And it's totally understandable and normal to be concerned about your health, obviously, even if what is happening is relatively minor or if it's a big major thing. Totally understandable. So, not to take anything away from that. But the Four of Cups here does suggest that if the anxiety over this is really getting to you, and I have a sense that you're someone who probably does get fairly anxious over, um, again, over health issues, um, more than maybe some other humans on this earth. You One thing that can help you is to take stock in what is actually going well in your life, and not just in your life, but in your health as well. Um, Even if you're experiencing some issues, I sense that there is a lot of good aspects to your physical health and the rest of your life. And so taking some time to sort of write those down, list them out, think about those can help with some of that anxiety and worry and help pull you back from it. Because, again, while it's normal to be worried about your health, um, the more you worry about it, the greater impact that worry itself has on your health. And it can perpetuate the very real physical things that you're experiencing. So if we get too anxious or too worried and really consumed with that, that alone can make things quite a bit worse or can cause even new health issues in your life. So trying to pull back from that anxiety a bit can be really helpful. And the Knight of Cups also speaks to that a bit as well. The Knight of Cups is sort of like this stability in your emotions and in yourself. And what this suggests here, it can also be people outside of you, other people in your life who are that sort of calm, stabilizing force. So this might be a call to you as well to seek out and spend time with those people that you get that sort of comfort from. Those people who help you remain sort of grounded and within yourself. That's going to help you work through some of these issues as well. Overall, though, I do sense that whatever issues you're having, that they will get resolved and for the better. You will come out of this feeling healthier, being healthier, and having a renewed sense of energy, like physical energy and feeling of youthfulness in your body. So overall, things are looking very up for you. Whatever issues or concerns you're having, they will you will be able to work through them and they will improve and you will come out of it for the better. But again, just try not to get too sucked into the worry piece of it. Certainly do what you need to do to take care of yourself, find out what's going on, see doctors if you need them to. But don't let that anxiety get carried away. If you find that really getting to you, again, seek out some people in your life that who provide some comfort to you, who are sort of that grounding force in your life, and that will get you through it. So, thank you so much for that question, Ashley. And we are starting to fill up the queue a bit. We're certainly not full for the night, but great to see some more folks in. Thank you, Lavi, and we got he is the artist on here. Oh, and Picky Cat 55. Can't remember if you're new or not. I might have seen you in here before, but whether you're new or old, thank you all so much for showing up tonight. I really appreciate it. It is so much fun. This would be really boring if it were just me. So thank you all for your support. Okay. Updating that. So moving on to Ruby. And Ruby asks, is there any kind of information about my coming career pathway? Specifically, how will I get this career? Okay. Okay. Okay, Ruby. Any kind of information? What's going on with your future career here? Let's see. All righty. Let's see, Ruby. What wisdom does Spirit have for you? We have the Knight of Pentacles. There's that Eight of Cups. Oh, there's the Lovers again. We're going to see a lot of the Lovers tonight. And that's beautiful. And maybe that's a little bit of that's a Gemini card. And so again, like me and Candy being lovers, obviously married, and we are both Gemini. So I think it's just that energy prevailing tonight and this week. So that's great. So first and foremost, Ruby, you are on your way to this prosperous career. This career is interesting. It's hard to hone in on exactly what it's going to be, but first and foremost, like you are making your way towards it. So even if whatever you're doing right now, it feels like you're not making progress, you're just really uncertain. Don't worry. Whatever you're doing, again, even if these things don't seem related, the things that you're doing, they are bringing you there. You are biding your time. Everything is happening in due time. And it's going to take some time for this career and your first opportunities in this career to sort of evolve and show up. So they're a little bit slow moving, but when they do, they're going to be good. It will be a good, lucrative position. It will be something that you're pretty happy with in the moment that suits you well for where you're at in your life. It's the right thing for you at that moment. Now, some of this career and this job will bring up and force you to confront some like old memories and feelings about things that really have little to do with the job itself. But some of the situations that you're going to be in, things that come up in your interactions with people here, will drag up some old feelings about things in your past. And a lot of them, and they're going to be things that, again, kind of going back to our group reading, are things that need to start leaving behind. You know, there's sort of old attitudes and beliefs about things that no longer serve you well, especially going into this job. So that's another big piece of what you're going to get out of this career. Is some personal growth as you go through it. It's going to stimulate that within you. And then we see the Lovers as like a final outcome. So you're going to have a position in a job that you really like, that is a really good fit for you and who you are and your purpose in life. And speaking a little more broadly based on these cards, you know, we have sort of the preponderance. We have the Cups here. The Lovers is very much a card of emotions and relationships. And so whatever this job is and whatever this career that it's part of is, I sense that there's going to be an element of interacting and dealing with other people. So this is not going to be a job where you just sort of work by yourself and do your thing and your work's done and that's it. The work that you're doing is going to involve you interacting with others, having to communicate and sort of build relationships of some kind or another with people in order to perform this job and to be part of this career and to do well at it. And that might be what a little bit of these old beliefs that you need to let go of have to do with. This is going to play on sort of how you relate with other people and how you react to them. So be looking for those things. And again, it's going to take some time. It's hard to say exactly how long before this position emerges. But it will come to you. And I sense in terms of how you will get this job or this career, the job itself, I think, is going to come to you. So this isn't going to look so much like you applying on a job board, like on Indeed or something like that, or just emailing a resume. This is going to look like you, again, sort of having relationships with people, someone maybe you already know or are loosely acquainted with, or someone even like 2 or 3 degrees separated from you, like a friend of a friend, will approach you with this job and this possibility. So also be on the lookout for that, and just be out there, be out there talking to people, networking with people, and that will attract this into your life. So thank you so much, Ruby, for your question tonight. We are still at He is the Artist. This is the last one so far. If there's anyone in here who has not requested a reading, please don't hesitate to do so while we have space in the queue, because it does tend to fill up at some point. It's a little bit slower tonight, which is totally okay. We've hit the summer. People are busy out with their evening activities and stuff, playing softball or volleyball or whatever they're doing, especially on Thursday night. But thank all of you for showing up. And next up, we have Picky Cat 55. Does AR miss me, or do I come to his mind? Will he come back? Okay, Picky Cat, let's see what we can find out about AR from Spirit. There you go. And Candy's absolutely right about patience being a muscle. Honestly, she has better advice than I do. And one day I'm just going to turn the channel over to her. And we're just going to have her go and do the live. And maybe she'll read for all of you. She's actually a lot better at it than she realizes, but she's been getting better. So, okay, Picky Cat. What does AR miss you? Are you in AR's mind at all? Let's see. Okay, Picky Cat. Let's find out about AR. Nine of Wands. It's definitely like looking back. There's some joy here. And Knight of Wands. Ooh, it's very powerful. Sort of fiery energy here with the wands. So, Picky Cat, I do sense that AR does miss you and does think about you. And in fond and joyful ways. So, Nine of Wands, definitely a looking back over the shoulder of past actions or exploits or things that they've done. And so, in the context of your question, this is AR looking back at the past of the two of you, whatever that entails at this point. Whatever time you spent together, however you interacted before, ostensibly before you were apart or out of contact. AR definitely looks back on this, and I would say fondly so. Wands are the fire, the element of fire. So again, passion, energy, a lot of that. There's also the Nine of Cups here. So again, currently like quite a bit of contentment and joy as well. So this suggests that AR is also just generally content as a person. But a lot of that contentment is, again, looking back at your past and being like, wow, that was really great. I missed that. I miss this person. They miss you. And the Knight of Wands really suggests AR coming back to you. It's hard to say exactly when, but it will happen. Like when it does happen, it'll be with a big fanfare. They will come literally galloping back into your life, just like the knight on this horse right now. Again, more of that fiery, passionate energy. So there's a lot of strong and good feelings towards you. And I sense that they miss you quite a lot and will definitely would like to get back into your life. So what's really up to you is to decide whether that's the right thing for you or not. You know, even if this person does think well of you, there is some reason that you're apart or out of contact, and that's something to be mindful of. You do have power in this situation, but they are definitely missing you and definitely want to be back in your life. So I hope that gives you some insight, Picky Cat, and thanks for your question tonight. Panya, we got your question in here too. We'll get you onto this list. So very good. Okay, and next up we have Lavi. Lavi's asking about school. Did I get my dream university in 2026? Well, that's a great question, Lavi. Let's see. Let's see what universe has to say about this. Okay, Lavi, did you get accepted to your dream university in 2026? Well, let's see. Page of Swords, the Page of Wands. Lots of wands. And the Two of Wands. A lot of moving and shaking this week for everyone. So the answer to this is pretty simple, actually, because it is, in a sense, a simple question. So I will say the quick and dirty answer, Lavi, is yes, you will get accepted into the university of your dreams. I sense that you will get offers from a few universities, including your dream university, but maybe some other places that you are also really interested in going to. I assume you applied to more than just one place. Most people do. So you're going to have some choice. And the offers are really, you're going to get some good offers from these other places. So you're going to actually probably, despite one of these places being like your dream place to study, and you will get accepted there, I think you're going to get some other offers as well. And you're really going to have to take some time and think about this because you're going to have a little bit of conflict there. Some of the other offers might seem really good. So you owe it to yourself to take some time and really think this over. And see what is being brought to you and being offered. I get the sense that the best fit for you is going to be the place that sort of broadens your horizons the most, the place that gets you exposure to more diverse people, more exposure to the world around you. I mean, any university does that, just by virtue of what it is, what university, what college is. But some just are more sort of worldly or more connected to the world than others. And I think that's where you're going to get pulled to. And that might be the dream university. I'm not sure. But I have a sense that that's where the universe is calling you to be the place that gives you the greatest connections to, again, the world outside of your current community. That's the place where you really belong right now. But absolutely, you will get accepted to this place, and you will have some big choices to make. So that's really exciting for you, and I look forward to seeing what ends up happening. So certainly, please keep us up to date as that develops. And thank you so much for your question tonight, Lavi. And we are just cracking along tonight. So thank you all so much already for all the questions and readings. Let's see here. And next up, we have He is the Artist. So glad I figured out your username. Heist the Artist. Heist He Artist? No, it's He is the Artist. And you ask, my mother and I have always had a rocky relationship. Do you see us ever becoming on good terms? Okay. Well, I am certainly sorry to hear about the struggles in your relationship with your mom. I am someone who also has many struggles with my own relationship with my mother. So I definitely feel for you in that. It's not always easy with family. But let's see what guidance spirit can provide you with this week to maybe help you move forward with this. Okay. He is the artist. What's going on with you and your mother? And the Empress. So we have the Seven of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Empress. And if y'all will just forgive me for 1 second here, I have to get something from my dog. Very sorry, folks. I will be right back. What did he do? Well, he tore this to bits. It's done. I apologize for that, everyone. My dog got into something he wasn't really supposed to. He's a very well behaved dog, and he really doesn't cause a lot of trouble. But once in a while, he'll tear up a cushion or a pillow. It's pretty rare. And I don't want him eating all that stuffing. So, okay, I am so sorry about that. So, he is the artist. Here's what's going on with your relationship with your mother. So, I sense that your mother is someone who, fundamentally, she's a fairly anxious person. She has a lot of sort of anxiety, a lot of tension. And a lot of the strain in your relationship is kind of born out of that. I sense that maybe she hasn't dealt with her own anxiety very well throughout her life. And so, unfortunately, as often happens, these things project out. You know, parents project this onto our kids without even, again, really realizing it. It doesn't make it okay, and it certainly causes the problems that it causes. So that's not to take anything away from your own pain in this. But fundamentally, that's what's going on here. And that's a lot of what has to improve, I think, for your relationship to improve. Now, the thing is you can't force that to happen. People will heal and grow when when something pushes them to do so. But it can't just be you pushing them. Something has to happen in their life where they're like, they feel like they have to change because they just can't go on the way they are. So your mother's kind of stuck, sort of emotionally and maturity wise, I sense. And again, just very highly distracted, and there's a lot of anxiety there and some confusion even at times. And so in your relationship, there is the potential for you to be on good terms. I do see you ending up on good terms at some point, but it's going to be a long sort of process. Um, your mother will grow as a human being and evolve in her own way in time and space. Even if she doesn't really go out of her way to try to do so, she will change over time. But a lot of this is going to be your own healing and growth. And you're going to get to a place as you go down your path in life and in your own adventure of dealing with this, where you heal from it. And there's going to be sort of an ebb and flow to it. So there will be times where it is necessary for you to be a bit more distant from her, for your own healing. And then over time, as you get different sort of phases of dealing with that, you'll get to a place where you are ready to be in her life more. And you get to a place where eventually you'll be able to interact with her. And her quirks and the things that she does that upset you, that trigger you, just they won't anymore. You'll be there, you'll acknowledge like, oh, this is how this makes me feel, but it's not going to like consume you in the moment. And so you'll be able to sort of move past that. And over time, you'll eventually be able to appreciate the parts of your relationship that were actually like good and healthy, and take some joy in that, even if things are not perfect. Um, this sort of healing and this coming back together, and I've been through my own version of this with my own mom. And, my mother and I, we went for almost 10 years without speaking. So, um, there's a lot there, but we were able to come back together, and now we're in a place where, I mean, she hasn't changed much. She still says and does a lot of the things that used to really upset me. But it's not like she, at least in her case, it's not like she was like truly like abusive or like truly horrible. She just can't see the world through other people's eyes. She has a very hard time acknowledging other people's experiences, which is very upsetting when you're someone's child. And you're like, no, mom, this is what's going on. And they freak out or they can't accept it. So you're going to grow through this. A lot of this is going to be your own growth that makes this possible. But again, you can't rush it, and you can't feel guilty about it that it's not happening quicker, but it will happen. And eventually we'll get to a place where like you're the one nurturing her in a lot of ways. You are really are truly the adult in the relationship in a way, but not in a way that is like burdensome to you. You'll get to a place where that is true, but that feels good. That you are able to appreciate her even despite the flaws and sort of trouble that she causes you. And so, yeah, this will evolve and it will happen eventually, but it's going to take time and you can't force it. The best thing you can do is just work on yourself and stay as close to her as you feel comfortable and are able to do in the moment, and just feel into that. And don't feel bad if you do have to be, again, a bit detached from her at times. That's the nature of relationships with family. So I hope that gives you some direction and hope for your relationship with your mom. Thanks again for that. You're welcome. Welcome in. You're welcome, Panya, and welcome in Phoenix Oracle Healing. It's great to see you back tonight. Welcome in, Noah, my good friend and former coworker, Noah Voorhees. Thank you for showing up tonight. Excuse me, everyone. Okay. And Phoenix, we will add you to the list, to this queue. Okay. We're just jamming along tonight. Okay. Still a great turnout. Okay, Panya's question. We are on Panya. Okay, Panya's question is guidance for embracing and balancing regulating emotions beyond grief and numbness. It seems lately like when I begin to experience joy, chaos, and when I begin to experience joy, things like chaos, disorganization start to overwhelm you. Mm. Well, I can also say for you, Panya, that you are not alone in that as well. Um, it's a weird thing that you. It's a weird thing that it's a weird pattern that humans get into, and it's more common than you'd think, and it's one that makes no sense at all logically. But many of us, myself included, get into places where we actually, our body, especially our bodies and our nervous system, start to like reject good things, even though we want good things. And it seems like we're not having them. And I sense that that's what you're struggling with here. So let's see what Spirit has to say about that, because that is something that absolutely can be overcome. It is a pattern that you can break. Oh, and yep. Of course, we would draw the Eight of Cups again. Here we have Eight of Pentacles as well. And Four of Pentacles. So this is some interesting insight here. Okay. Okay, Panya. So, like I was starting to say already, and Spirit is sort of underscoring this and highlighting this, is that a lot of what you're experiencing again goes back to like early younger experiences. So at some point in your life, you had experiences that taught you that perhaps maybe you weren't worthy of joy, or that anytime you experienced joy or got something that you wanted or was good, that it could just be taken away from you. And you didn't have people in your life who were speaking sort of against that, who were reassuring you that not everything will just be pulled out from under you. So there is a sense of insecurity there, perhaps even a lack of feeling safe in childhood, and you learn these attitudes from people around you, most namely your parents probably, but also other people in your life, in your young life, who underscore these things. Um, And if you sort of take some time and think about how you think about things, sort of analyze your own, observe your own thoughts about things, you might see this in some of the language and speech that you use. So are you the type of person, or are people in your life, again, like your parents, the type of people who, for example, you might say like, oh, the weather's beautiful today, right? And your parent or you might say, as soon as you think that, might have this thought or say, well, don't say it because you'll jinx it, right? Like if we mention how wonderful everything is, that will cause that wonderful thing to end. And that's just a hypothetical sort of example of what I'm sort of talking about. But if you find that you have these patterns of thought in yourself, think about other people in your life, from your younger life especially, who were similar, and go back to some of the experiences and memories you have from being around them. And I think you'll find some of these things, some of these past things that I'm talking about. That's a place for you to explore, and maybe sort of grieve and allow some of that to flow through you as far as the feelings. um, Someone may have sort of squashed your joy, and you weren't really felt like you could react to that. You couldn't act out or get upset about it. You had to just be like, oh, my joy has been squashed, I guess I don't get to have joy. um, that's the root cause and basis of what you're experiencing, why you seem to turn towards this chaos and disorganization and overwhelm, when you should otherwise be enjoying something. That's the root of it. It's in your past. Currently, a lot of how you cope with this, I sense, is you turn towards sort of being busy. So that's this Eight of Coins. The Eight of Coins is like industrious work, diligent work. And that can be a good coping mechanism to some extent. There's nothing really wrong with that, but it may not be enough. Ultimately it does not break the pattern. It does allow it to perpetuate. But it's better than having like full on, like freak out or breakdown. But you may find, I sense that maybe you're someone who, like, at times you sort of get very busy. You make yourself very busy, and maybe even take on too much, sort of as a way to maybe distract yourself from some of these unresolved bits of. Okay, so of childhood. So, Panya, you asked, just looking up in the chat. So it's more important since losing courage. Okay, so you have had this loss of courage. So it's more apparent, not important. Sorry, since losing courage. Well, yeah, and that makes sense because you certainly have had this courage, and you are a brave person. I don't want to take that away from you at all. So please understand that that is a beautiful and important part of you. But oh right, I forgot. So Candy just reminded me. That's right. Courage is actual friend of yours. I'm so sorry, Penny. I forgot. um, So this also makes perfect sense. And you are still a beautiful and courageous person. Please don't misunderstand. But sometimes I lose track of things. So yeah, so that, the loss of someone important to you definitely is going to underscore that. And it's going to allow that sort of those deeper feelings from the past of unsafety and stuff, obviously, are going to surface. Because anytime we lose somebody, it certainly brings up the question of our own mortality and fear of that, and fear of our own, not being here one day. And so that makes perfect sense. It's totally understandable as well. And so, yeah, you kind of are getting pulled into, again, some of this stuff. So I think there's a few pieces of it is like, there's probably some layers of grief. I know you have been grieving and you've been embracing grief over this person. But there's still some there, it doesn't just happen overnight. There's time to this. So you're still going through some of that grieving process. So allow yourself to still have space for that. But it is probably playing again. There's probably some other things as well. So as you move through more of the grief over this current loss, this more recent loss, it will be eventually time again to start looking farther back and revisiting some of those childhood things as well. So totally understandable. And the Four of Coins here is sort of a more positive outcome looking forward. And it's a reminder to take stock of the things that you do have, because you actually have a lot in your life. And that's tricky when, you're struggling with feeling joy. But again, it's like you're holding on to, and sort of there's some other emotions that you haven't allowed yourself to feel fully. So much of the struggle with feeling joy is that there are certain emotions that when we bottle them up, we have this tendency to not want to feel or allow ourselves to feel negative, quote unquote, negative emotions, things like sorrow, sadness, pain, fear, etc. We tend to just push those away. And when we do that, we are actually making it harder to feel joy. It's very counterintuitive, but the more you shut off the negative emotions, the more you shut off all of your emotions. The more you deny those things, the more you're denying feelings of joy. And again, this can go very deep, it often goes into childhood and things like that. So in order to get right and to allow joy back into your life, you have to let all of this stuff just sort of flow through you. And I know you're doing a lot of that. You are a very emotionally intelligent person. So a big part of this is just time and allowing that time to move through things. There are other things you can do as well that will help with this. Reading tarot for yourself, which is another adventure that you've taken on, can help with that. And this is something, Panya, that I would be happy to um, discuss with you more in depth, more privately and one on one at some point. So maybe keep that in mind. And maybe sometime in the next week or so, we can schedule a little chat, and we can talk more about it one on one. Because I think there's some other things here that could come through that I might be able to help you, and I might be able to give you a little bit of direction in that. But that's what I see from the cards here. So thank you so much for that question, Panya. Now let's see, who do we got left? Well, we're right about 9 o'clock, so that was Panya's reading. Why, Ahmed, you were up. So up next, I have Phoenix Oracle Healing, and then Ahmed. And let's see. I think what we'll do is, because we're at 9 o'clock, we're about an hour in. So we're going to take a quick break. And I take 5, maybe 10 minutes tops. Get a little stretch in. It's a great chance for great chance for everyone else to grab a beverage and whatnot and just take a little stretch. So we're going to take 10. And then when I get back, we will read for Phoenix Oracle Healing and Ahmed and anyone else who joins the queue after that. We actually have quite a bit of space tonight. So I see Noah, you seem up in the air about a reading. No pressure, but it is a slow night, like Andy says. So it can be a good time to get in if you really want one. But no pressure. But yeah, I'll be back in about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll kick everything off after that. So we'll see you back after the break. Okay, we're coming back from break, everyone. So thank you for sticking around. It's great to be back. Needed that little stretch. Had some wonderful questions this evening. It's a nice sort of intimate group. I love it. I saw Noah asking questions about questions for tarot readings. So as Candy said, you can ask any type of question, or you can just ask for a general reading. And I will say that often in tarot, people will have a question or topic, and when we ask spirit, we get a message about something completely unrelated, because sometimes we are fixated on something in our life that is not the thing we should be fixated on. So, a classic example, I get this a lot, is a person will be like, some woman will be like, I don't know what's going on with my marriage. My husband's driving me crazy, or I don't know, something like that. We're not getting along very well all of a sudden, even though we have a good marriage overall. And, is he cheating on me, or what's going on? And we'll pull a bunch of cards, and the cards say nothing about this woman's relationship. Cards clearly suggest that she is miserable at work, and there's this toxic boss and all this stuff, and she's in a career she didn't really like to begin with, and she's been doing it for 20 years now, and all this stuff about her job and her career. And it's just the universe saying, hey, look, you're unhappy with your job, and now you're coming home unhappy, and that energy is contagious, and so it's creating tension in your relationship. Your marriage is great. That's not the problem. It's you're unhappy with it, and you tell her all this in the reading, and she's like, oh my god, you're right. I just thought work was supposed to suck. And it's like, no, we're all entitled, and we all deserve to have meaningful, purposeful work in our lives, to do things that we get some meaning from beyond just earning a paycheck. So that's just a great example, Noah, where the question isn't nearly as important as you would think. And speaking of general readings, Arwen has also requested reading. We'll get you on the list, no problem. We'll get you on here as well. I'm glad you could make it, Arwen. And if any of you are new, again, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, click the bell icon so that you get notified when we go live and when I post other wonderful content for you to enjoy. And we do also accept donations. The link for donations is in the pinned comment in the chat. Always appreciated as well. So, but your presence alone here is such a great support to us. So let's get on with it. Phoenix Oracle Healing asks, what will be the outcome regarding my house and paperwork with the ex? Any advice or guidance? And I'm going to infer that this that your house situation is pretty much tied up, because it says house and paperwork with the ex. So I'm guessing that these things are intertwined. Most likely a divorce. But whatever it is, clearly your finances are entangled. So no problem, Arwen. We'll get to you as well. Let's see what's going on with your ex and this house and the paperwork. Okay. Okay, let's see. Well, 10 of coins is always a pretty positive card. We have the death card here. Ooh, scary. Don't panic, anyone. No one's going to die today. And then the Queen of Pentacles. So, I see. Okay. Yeah, okay. He won't sign until he gets his stuff, quote unquote. Well, hmm. Well, I see this all working out for your highest benefit, Phoenix. So you have a lot of abundance and wealth around you. This goes beyond your possession of this house or your bank account. The 10 of coins is like all the riches of your life. And so a lot of this is the wealth of resources in your community, people's goodwill towards you, their desire and want to help you, and to do things for you, and give to you. So you have to continue to be open and receptive to that. So there is a lot of outpouring of community and support for you. And I would conjecture that with that, a little bit of that is some support from the legal system itself. And I will caution that I am not a lawyer and this is not legal advice. But I sense that at some point the powers that be might, in some way or another, sort of push this along a little bit, and maybe not through any like harsh, I don't think anyone's getting arrested necessarily like that, but there will be some legal necessity where he can no longer drag his feet on this. Um, and so it will kind of provoke him into signing off, because it sounds like he's dragging his feet. I would assume that, his concern about getting his stuff, I assume that he has the ability and means to do that. That's, it's not like you're truly like keeping his stuff from him, that he owns in all of this. So, some of this is like a subconscious denial on his part of the finality of this breakup or this divorce. So he will get some encouragement, like something will push him along to act, to get this thing moving. So it is going to work out in your highest favor. And he will sign, and it won't drag on for too much longer. The death card here really is just like, this is symbolic, and I mean, it's a big thing that you're going through, just even on the surface of it. But there's a deeper symbolism to it. So this is your own rebirth. This is the end of the old you. Obviously, this is the end of the you who ended up in this relationship, who attracted this person into your life. And clearly, this was not the person that you deserve. You deserve someone better and who completes you more. So the old you, that's what's dying here, is that old self. And that's a beautiful thing. And what that's giving birth to is the Queen of Pentacles. And so this is a new you that is even more secure, more sure of yourself, more, you are guided very much by a very strong emotional intelligence and strong empathy and compassion for others. You're not going to allow yourself to become overly jaded or callous because of the hurt and pain of the ending of this relationship. And that's going to carry you forward in all parts of your life. So that greater emotional strength that you now have coming out of this is going to lead you to greater financial prosperity as well. So I see all of this working out for you. I see you getting the house. I see him signing the papers and all that. And it's going to happen. Something is going to kind of put this in motion a bit. And there's going to be some like practical necessity that sort of forces him to do it, and stop dragging his heels. And it might be a little bit more waiting, but I don't think it'll be too long. So I wouldn't try to force things. I wouldn't get too crazy about it. Obviously, you have your lawyers and all of this. Certainly follow their advice. This is not legal advice that I'm giving you, but they'll make it happen. And this will all pan out for you for the best. And you're going to feel like a queen when you come out the other side of this. You're going to feel more empowered, and ready to do greater things than maybe you've even imagined in the past. So a lot of actually good things are coming out of this for you, Phoenix, and I wish you the best in all of that. Because I'm sure it's not fun. You're welcome, Phoenix, and thank you for the question. So moving on, we have Ahmed. Oh, we got a few others on we added Brandon. I'd also like a general reading. So thank you for that, Brandon. We'll get to you. You are currently third on the list. So moving on, we have Ahmed. Ahmed asks, "Am I going to give a medical entrance exam on the 21st of June? Will I be able to clear it and get government college?" Okay, couple of university, class, college entrance type questions tonight. Always happy to take those. And I see Noah getting into the action. Well, Noah, you will be fourth on the list. We will add you in just a moment. I'm so excited for you, Noah. And my young friend Noah here is a good friend of mine. We were coworkers at the Hobby Lobby over this last year, and Noah's a big student of philosophy, so we talk a lot about some pretty heady things. And he's more philosophical than, I wouldn't say he's not spiritual. That wouldn't be fair, but he has very logical, philosophically oriented mind. So it's very interesting, Noah, to see you wanting a tarot reading, something that is not logical at all. And it'll be a lot of fun. So, okay, Ahmed, are you going to get into this? Are you going to pass this medical entrance exam on the 21st of June? Well, I'll tell you, the 21st of June seems like a good day. It is the summer solstice, so that's a powerful day right there. I'm already feeling good things, but we will ask Spirit. Well, Four of Wands, 10 of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. So this speaks very loud and clear to me that you are going to pass this exam. You will clear it and be able to get into the government college that you're trying to get into. And here's why. Here's what I see in your card. So Four of Wands. This is Six of Wands. This is a card of it's kind of like a homecoming card. So it's like you returning home victorious, right? People celebrating and praising you and celebrating your return. You've been missed. Like you're coming back from a victory at war kind of thing. This dude is on this horse carrying a staff with a wreath on it, and the others around him are all kind of carrying a staff like they're this procession. So again, that suggests a great success, something to celebrate. 10 of Swords here. Now, this can look a little scary, and often this can be interpreted as some pretty negative things, generally speaking. But in your context here, I think this also supports the idea that you will pass this test. One, it will be exhausting. So when it is over, there will be a huge sense of relief. But the 10 is like the completion of things in any suit. And it is a completion of, in this case, not just conflict, although, school is kind of a battle getting through school. So you can see it as a conflict, but swords are the suit of knowledge and education and skill. So it is the completion of your learning these skills. And how better to complete that but than to pass the exam, so that you can then enter the next phase of things. And I have no doubt it is exhausting. Absolutely. So there's going to be a feeling of exhaustion, but also like in a beautiful way, like, and you're going to pass and it's going to feel great. And then Nine of Cups, again, just this beautiful card of contentment and joy. Look at all of what I have achieved. And by all means, you should take joy in that. It's not like arrogant or boastful to revel in that. So yeah, I sense this is all going to go very well. And then just prepare to give yourself a little bit of not just celebration, but rest when all is said and done. Give yourself a couple days to decompress after if you can, because it's going to happen and you will succeed. So thank you for that, Ahmed. Things look really, really good for you going forward into June. And I really hope that I'm right. Let me know either way. Moving on, we have Arwen. We will add Noah onto the queue here. Noah, you might end up being the last reading. We'll see. Yeah, probably close it up a little early, but we'll see. Right now, we are still open. So if there's anyone else in the chat who hasn't requested a reading so far, please do. If we get to Noah and there's no one else, then we'll probably just pack it up for the night. You're welcome, Ahmed. All right, Arwen wants some general guidance here. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. Let me get that to update correctly. Noah. I didn't take Ahmed off. Ahmed's done. Okay, Arwen, general reading. So when we do these general readings, again, we do 3 cards, so I generally read them as more like a past, present, future type thing. But sometimes that changes. Sometimes I just flip cards over and there's just like this profound message, super strong, in my soul, in my intuition, and just like instantaneously. And that's what we go with, and sometimes we pull the cards over and it's a little more of like, okay, here's what's here. Okay, Arwen, we're shuffling up for you right now. So and so just to ask our 9 or so viewers here, I know most of you show up for the readings, which I love to do, but how many of you would like to see me unbox? We're not going to do it tonight, but I'm debating whether I want to do it live here on a Thursday or just record it. But who would like to watch me unbox and sort of preview my new tarot deck that I bought for the year? It's this lovely B Tarot. If that's something you'd be interested in watching during the live, let me know in the chat. Or if you think that's boring and stupid, let me know in the chat. If all of you aren't really that into that kind of thing, I'll just record it and put it up that way. But if it's something you would get some joy out of, we'll do it. We'll do it live, and then I'll just take a clip of it and put that up. So, all right, Arwen, let's get your messages from Spirit today. Oh man, this 8 of Cups is just everywhere tonight. So there's a lot of shedding old beliefs, old memories, and sort of confronting old trauma and that kind of thing. It's just, again, it goes back to the group reading, it's breaking down to that old order, the old things that don't serve us anymore. So speaking generally, Arwen, there are some things in your past, some attitudes and patterns of behavior that come out of past experiences, childhood, younger experiences. And if you're feeling any kind of resistance or just running into any sort of difficulty this week, or in this little period of time that we're in, this is the place to go looking. It has less to do with what is going on in your life right now, the current circumstances, but you're reacting to those circumstances based on things that happened in your past that aren't directly related to these circumstances. It is the human nature to get trapped in that sort of thing. And the 8 of Swords does tell me that maybe you are feeling a bit stuck or trapped in a way. You feel like there's something in your life that you can't quite get past. Like you're feeling kind of trapped and you don't even know what it is exactly. That's the hardest thing, is like, it's just this nagging feeling I sense. It's not like, oh, my job, or, oh, this relationship. It's just like things don't seem to be progressing, or seem to be what you thought they would be. And there's an important lesson here in the 8 of Swords as well with this. And we see that this woman she's kind of surrounded by the swords. So it seems like she's sort of imprisoned, but the path before her is clear. If you look carefully at this, she can move, but she's blind to that fact. So, this card is one of these things where, like, it speaks to being stuck or trapped, maybe in some like overthinking that you're struggling with, or like there's something you want to do, or achieve, but you're just like trapped in like planning and thinking about it. You never feel like you can act, or like what you are doing is useful, or like successful. So that's a lot of what's plaguing you or will sort of come up. It goes back to, again, revisiting these old things. So you want to think back on things in your life, like what are things from your past that made you feel the same way as you do now, even if they're seemingly unrelated from a more logical sense. What other things, what other experiences do you associate with the feeling that you're feeling when you're running into this resistance or difficulty? And that's what you want to break down and start to understand. And it's the old thing, it's that old experience that you didn't fully process. That's what's holding you back. That's what's really causing this problem. And that's where you need to explore and look more inward and explore clearing that out and resolving that and transforming it. And so that's a lot of this. The Three of Swords here is like the mind sort of outweighing your feelings. And so there's a sense of like you haven't fully allowed yourself to process certain feelings. And you're allowing your mind to take over and sort of try to come up with these logical solutions to this thing. But it's really about dealing with the emotional aspects of it. You haven't fully done that. There's no shame in that. Please don't feel bad or anything. It's just human nature. We all struggle with this. So don't get down on yourself either. You haven't done anything wrong. The whole point of this is that now the universe is saying, hey, this is what you got to do. So that's what you got to explore going into the next couple of weeks. It's like when you hit that thing, that frustration or sadness or whatever it is, it may seem to be caused by the current circumstance, but really try to go back in the past and explore other times where this has come up. So thank you for that question, for the reading, Arwen. We will get on to Brandon and then Noah, and that's probably going to wrap it up for the night. I mean, we are an hour and 40 minutes. I know, yeah. So, Panya, you're definitely a tarot person. So I know you want to see it. We'll probably do it. I don't know that I can't really do a whole nother live on a different night just because of my schedule, but a deck unboxing would only take like 15 minutes to just open it up, show you everything, flip through some of the cards. Maybe we'll just do it. But I'll let you all know. Okay, Brandon. So I'm not going to update the queue on the screen because we're pretty much at the end of things. So Brandon also would like a general reading. Let's get a good shuffle. It'd be nice to see something that's not the Eight of Cups. Okay, Brandon, I think we got a good shuffle here. So there's the Knight of Cups. There's just a lot of cups tonight. Ooh, there's some Ace of Pentacles. That's exciting. Some new things. The Queen of Swords. Okay. So there's some progression here, Brandon. So what I sense is, there's kind of a lot in these cards. So we had Knight of Cups. So in your past, not for your entire past, but leading up to the present and the last, more recent past, I think you've been enjoying and getting a sense of like a feeling of like you've had some good sort of emotional stability in your life. So, it's not to say certainly you've had, your ups and downs and things, but you do have a general feeling of stability that, things come up, problems arise, and you have an underlying confidence like I can deal with this. It's not you never have any worries, but compared to many people I know, you have that stability. And so that's been really good. And maybe the piece that you've been wondering about and maybe you're lacking a little bit is more in the physical sort of wealth and financial abundance type piece. So maintain that stability, that emotional stability. Whatever you do that helps maintain that, stick with it because it's working. And it is actually working to bring physical prosperity into your life. They're not exclusive. It's not like you can have sort of peace of mind, but you have to be poor. Or if you want to have riches and wealth, you can't have any peace of mind or joy. You're just going to work and be miserable. It isn't really like that. A lot of us are led to believe that, but it's not true. You can have your cake and eat it too if you understand these things. So protect your peace. Don't let that emotional stability, that peace of mind sort of disappear. Don't compromise that. Keep doing things that help that. As you do so, it will bring in a new opportunity for some new physical wealth, some actual material abundance will appear. It may not, I don't think it's going to look like just money just dropping into your bank account like you won a lottery ticket, but a new opportunity to get in on something, to start a new endeavor or an investment or something like that is going to appear, and it will be a good one. So you want to take advantage of that because that will lead you to greater prosperity. But if you're not in an emotionally stable state, if you are sort of in a state of like panic or emotional turmoil, you may not see this opportunity. It may not be apparent to you, or you may not think it's worth taking advantage of. It may seem like a bad idea when it actually was a good one. So be mindful of that. That's why you need to stick with your peace. You need to protect that peace. And coming further out of that, sort of a greater sense of like connection to others and a sense that you have the ability to influence other people in a positive way. And so I think this financial opportunity is probably linked into this expansion of your influence and sort of your reach, how you share and express your ideas to the world, and how people react to that. That's this sort of queen energy, and the queen is someone who, the Queen of Swords, while they are very logical and thoughtful with their words and their influence, they are also in tune with their emotions and the emotional piece of this. So they don't just communicate through logic. They give logical ideas that also they present them in ways that resonate emotionally with people. And so I think that's where you're headed. This is like that greater piece of growth that will come out of that peace of mind, that stability that you have. Just keep maintaining that. And some really beautiful things are going to come to you pretty soon here. So I hope that gives you some inspiration this week, Brandon, and thank you for that. Next up, we have Noah, and then we do have one more. Rowie will be last on the list. And that will actually, we're going to close it up after the two of you. So let me just very quickly switch to, we are closed. Okay, great. Alrighty, Noah, it's your turn. I hope you're still here. I hope you didn't fall asleep. All right, Noah, we will shuffle up for you. Let's see. Wake up, buddy. The cool thing is, Noah, is if you missed this, as you know, we do put the replays up on. There you are. Okay, you're awake, Noah. Good thing. Alrighty. Well, it must be a little easier to stay up when you're not in the middle of one of your hardest years of college, my friend. Okay, Noah, what guidance do we have for you? Let's cut the cards. Let's see. Okay, we have King of Swords. We have the Fool. Very exciting. And Ace of Swords. Okay. Well, this is all very exciting for you, Noah, and some really like good and positive things here. So given the preponderance of the swords, as I was saying before, swords are they can be about conflict. In this case, I don't see a lot of conflict here. What I do see is this is a lot about actually your education and where that education is taking you in life. Swords are about thought and knowledge and intellect and words. So you were moving into, again, your last, like your hardest years of school, like we were saying. And I know you've had some up and downs academically, but you've definitely been getting through. So you're definitely feeling, pretty good overall, I sense, about your knowledge, what you've learned. And there's a confidence in, like the things you learn them well, and you know them. You are able to apply them and carry them forward. Now it's interesting because now we see the Fool. So the Fool is like beginning of new adventures and journeys. Now I know that you're still on the same track for your education as far as what you're studying, that you have been. And at times you've kind of been, back and forth on things, but some aspect of school going into this year is going to feel like a new adventure. So it's going to be learning some new things, obviously, but there's something else to it. And it is more of academic nature. Like this isn't like other parts of your life, like your love life or something that's going to change dramatically or kind of begin a new phase. Although it might be. But I think you're going to have like kind of a different experience at school. I think you're going to find like a professor or someone that you kind of latch onto a bit more. Someone who maybe regards you a little more than just another student. So there's going to be a little bit more of a bond there. And it's going to make schooling kind of like this, it's going to renew your feelings about school a bit. You're getting into the thick of it. You've had, this is a pretty difficult year for you, just a very challenging year in terms of studies, advanced classes, very math heavy and all that. So, that's weighty and, makes school less fun in a sense. So I think you're gonna run into somebody who's gonna kind of give you a fresh perspective on this. And again, I don't sense it means like a dramatic change, like you're gonna completely change majors all of a sudden or anything like that. But there'll be this renewal. So this new year starting up in the fall is going to be really exciting for you. Something's going to kind of set that off. And then you're definitely going to learn some pretty new things and things that really seem new. Like they didn't, that's going to go beyond just like book learning, really. It's not just like you learn some new facts that are exciting, although you will. This renewal in your education, you're going to come away with it with like some new like skill beyond just your study. So you may come out of this with like a greater sense of being able to communicate or influence people, and some excitement around that. And that's going to shape a little bit about what you really do with your degree and how you move forward. Um, that could see like you wanting to, you're in like essentially, and mechanical engineering, so you'll be working in like aerospace or that kind of thing, that kind of sector. But this might look more like you not just wanting to do the engineering, but maybe take on more of like leadership. So maybe you'd be more excited about potentially becoming like the team lead for a team of engineers as opposed to I just do my work. Um, yeah, I sense like a renewal, and like a new excitement around sort of how you communicate and put yourself out there, and like just being even more enthusiastic about putting yourself out there and communicating with others. So some really cool and fun things are coming out of your schooling this year, Noah. And that's what I got. That's your message from Spirit. So and a little bit of my own rambling, but I hope that makes some sense, Noah. And don't hesitate to reach out to me personally if you need clarification on that, or if you're just deeply offended or whatever. So, yeah. But thanks for showing up, Noah, supporting us and asking a question. I hope you get something good out of that. And that brings us to Rowie, not sure. But Rowie, you are the last for the night. I see Renan O'Brien came in. Yeah. No, yeah, Rowley will be the last reading. So I apologize, Renan, if you came in kind of late. We're wrapping it up just a wee bit early, about 10 minutes early, maybe. But please join us next Thursday. I will be back. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, ring the bell icon. That way you'll get notified as soon as we go live next week. If you get in early enough, you will not miss a chance to get a reading. So again, I want to thank everyone for showing up and supporting us tonight. Also, if you enjoy tarot readings, I highly encourage you to read tarot for yourself. It's such a powerful practice. And you can learn to do it without memorizing anything, without memorizing cards, without a 10-week masterclass. You can learn to do this in about 3 hours with me on Zoom. Next class is coming up Monday. And so links to that are in the description. If you're interested in learning more about my beginner's tarot class, I would love to see you there. It's so much fun to do. So, okay, Rowley, feeling lucky today. Okay, what's coming? General reading. Well, here's the flyout. So there's the world. Man, that's a lucky card. That's a great card. You're definitely right to be feeling lucky. Well, there's that 10 of Swords again. Oh, and Return of the Four of Pentacles. So there is a lot of power and luck in these cards. A lot of good things are headed your way. The world is here to remind you that you are essentially just a unique facet of the universe, of spirit, or of God, or whatever you like to call it. But that literally the creative force of the universe that creates all the infinite things in the world is flowing through you. You have the power to harness that. You have the power to work hand in hand with the universe to create your reality as you see fit. It's a beautiful thing when you step into that and own it. And so that's the world. The world is your oyster. And what that looks like for you moving into the next few weeks is, one, the end of some sort of conflict. So you're going to there's some ongoing conflict in your life. It might not be a super major one. It might be something more minor, but it's nagging at you. But this is going to come to an end, and it's going to end in your favor. You will be victorious in this. It will turn out the way you want it to. And so that's a beautiful thing. And it's going to lead you to sort of seeing that you actually have a lot more in your life already than maybe you realize. Sort of getting the weight of this conflict off of your conscience is going to help you to see all of the goodness and beauty and prosperity that you have in your life. And that's what Four of Coins here is really about. We see this character sort of clutching this coin in his arms. But then he's sort of standing on these other two coins and has one on top of his head. And it's like he can't see them. He doesn't realize they're there. He's sort of clutching onto and fixating on this one thing. And so this, again, speaks to an expansion of appreciating all the things that you have in your life and just really like things opening up for you. And that'll just inspire you to go on and to create more in your image, to change your world to be what you want it to be, what is in your highest interest and deepest and most divine purpose. So a lot of good tidings and good fortune for you going forward this week. So again, I hope everyone got something out of the readings. Don't ever hesitate to reach out to me personally. My email address is in my YouTube profile. And we will certainly be back next Thursday with readings again. And I do think we will probably do an unboxing of the B Tarot as well. So I really hope you enjoy that. Again, thank you all for showing up tonight. And I love all of you.